Sweaty Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With Scott and Jim.
Best esports game. We got CSGO, Dota 2, we got bloody Fortnite up in here, we got League of Legends, and we got Overwatch. Between Fortnite and Overwatch me, but Overwatch won it last year, and Fortnite's been killing it, and you know what? As much as you hate on Fortnite, it's gonna win, so there's no point not voting for it.
The thing is, the only one I've played out of them all is Fortnite.
Fair enough.
And I've even played enough of Fortnite, but like, yeah, to me, like, it probably isn't the most balanced out of them all, or anything like that, but you know what? It's the one I've played.
Next up, we got the best debut indie game. We got Donut Country, we got Florence, we've got Moss, we've got The Messenger, and we got Yoku's Island Express.
I've heard lots of good things about Messenger, but I haven't played any of these games. That's why it feels weird to vote. So should we vote for things? Because we voted for all the esports things, so should we just vote anyway?
I'm going for Yoku. I'm going for Yoku because
it's like a happy bug, yeah.
He was a happy boy, and I like Sweden. I used to live in Denmark, which is like next to Sweden. So there you go.
I'm gonna go for the one that I'm most interested in actually playing. Interactive story about love and life. That sounds kind of wholesome and different. So you know what? I'll vote for Florence because I want to look into that game. And if a game can grab my attention from one image that I want to look into it, I'm going to give it a vote.
Next up, best multiplayer game. We got Call of Duty Black Ops 4, we got Destiny 2 Forsaken, we got Fortnite, we got Monster Hunter World, and we got Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is quite a disappointing game in that game.
Yeah, no, I heard that was pretty trash.
Fortnite, it's bloody Fortnite. Destiny 2, yeah, I don't like Destiny 2, too much DLC. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, apparently it's a bit of a broken mess on PC, so I'm gonna go Fortnite, boys.
Out of these ones, it'll be between Fortnite and Monster Hunter, because I played Monster Hunter the beta, and I was like, this is fine, but I think because I don't know, because it feels weird to vote for Fortnite, because again, it's not the kind of game that I'd love to vote for, but again, it's got like a quick pick up and play, get in with your friends. It kind of promotes playing with friends quite a lot more than all of these other games. So for that kind of like mentality and getting friends together, Fortnite does it. Good job, Fortnite.
Next up is best sports/racing game. We got bloody FIFA 19. We got Forza Horizon 4. We got Mario Tennis Aces. We got NBA 2K19. We got Pro Evo Soccer 2019. Okay. So it automatically goes down to Forza Horizon 4 and Mario Tennis Aces. Mario Tennis Aces being a return to form for the Mario Tennis series. Forza Horizon 4 just being another beautiful Forza game. I'm going to go, I'm bloody Nintendo Land boy. I'm going to give it to Forza Horizon 4.
Ooh, it's a free roam off-road game though. What's edging Aces for you though? You're not playing Aces anymore or something? Or?
I am, but I don't know. I prefer racing games over sport games, so it's an automatic win for me.
Okay, that's fair enough.
What are you giving it to?
The one that looks like I would play probably more might be Forza Horizon if I were to play it, but again, I don't have an Xbox, I can't play it. But like, I don't care about sports racing games at all, but like literally I saw the trailer for it and I was like, that looks kind of fun. And then Mario Tennis Aces, I was like, looks like a Mario Tennis game, cool. But I don't think it really went above and beyond. I'm going to vote for Forza. You know what? I'm going to go off because honestly, it was a game that was like, hey, Xbox looks cool now because this looks like a cool racing game. There you go.
Next up, best strategy game. We got the Banner Saga 3, which came out on Nintendo Switch, along with 1 and 2. We got Battletech, game never heard of. We got Frostpunk. We got Into the Breach. And then we've got Valkyria Chronicles 4. Jimmy, have you ever played Valkyria Chronicles before?
I have played Valkyria Chronicles. Stop asking me. I've played it before. Not this one, but I've played them before. And you know what? I'm going to give it a vote because it definitely is probably the one that I'm most interested in out of any of these.
So there we go. Valkyria Chronicles 4. Of course it wins for us. It's bloody Sega. So good on Sega, make it in the Game Awards this year. Next up, we got Best Family Game. We got Mario Tennis Aces. We got Nintendo Labo. We got Overcooked 2. We got Starlink Battle for Atlas. We got Super Mario Party. So a lot of Nintendo representation right there. That's cool. What are you voting for?
Super Mario Party. Absolutely.
Super Mario Party? Fair enough. I'm going to vote for Nintendo Labo because I made a production out of it. Labo Wars. Go check it out.
He's got a bit of a soft spot for it, but like, yeah, for me, Super Mario Party, it's like the only game out of those ones that I'd be like, if I had all these games in a pile and like everyone was over, family was over, like what game would I choose to play with them? Super Mario Party, like absolutely. So that's why I get my vote.
Next up, best fighting game. Smash Bros was robbed of this because it comes out a day after the Game Awards. But we've got Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which is a sort of crossover fighting game from different properties. We've got Ruby, which is a Rooster Teeth production. We've also got Persona, which is Atlas Sega property, along with Blaze Blue characters and some other anime which I can't remember. We've got Dragon Ball FighterZ, of course, Dragon Ball Fighters, or just Dragon Ball I should say, Soul Calibur, and Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. I've only played Blaze Blue, so I'm gonna go with that one. Jimmy, what are you doing?
Because it's done by Bandai Namco, and I think they do really well with games, especially Smash Brothers, Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, absolutely. I feel like I watched the gameplay of that. I'm like, that's a fighting game I want to play. So there you go. I haven't played it yet. This is showing how little games we play. But like, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people are in this situation where they're voting for things that they haven't played. So unfortunate. But like, I only play like one game at a time. So that's how it is. Best action adventure.
We got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I completely forgot this was the game that came out. I thought it was the Egyptian one, but that came out last year. God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I think that Assassin's Creed, especially the latest ones, have seemed to not be Assassin's Creed sort of like those really interesting, like, I don't know, they just seem to be generic action adventure. Play a character. You got choices when you go into dialogue things, but it doesn't actually affect the gameplay at all. You just say hello instead of saying how you doing. I don't know. I hate, like, it just it looks just I just look at gameplay. I've looked at lots of gameplay for it because I've been like, I want to see like if they're actually doing anything with it, and really it looks like generic action adventure, and all of these ones below it look way better. So absolutely no.
Alright, so Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I haven't played. God of War, I haven't played. Red Dead Redemption 2, haven't played yet. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I haven't played. Spider-Man, I have played. I enjoyed it. So I've got it by default.
Yes,
I have to give it to Spider-Man.
It's a good game though, so there you go. It's a good game. I've played God of War. I've played Spider-Man. I'm playing Red Dead. Out of those three, I would say Spider-Man probably the lowest out of the three of those ones, which, I don't know, I feel like Red Dead has the edge for me in over Spider-Man because, I don't know, it's just kind of like that slower pace that I kind of like and just like it to kind of absorb a nice world. But Spider-Man is good, like it's very close, so close. All these games are really close. But God of War, oh my god, that's a great game. That's a solid game. I love God of War, so I'm going to vote for that one. It's a very good game, very well put together.
Best action game, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2 Forsaken, the generic Far Cry sequel number 5, and Mega Man 11.
Because since of the controversy of seeing the copied review of Dead Cells, I've actually seen lots of gameplay for Dead Cells, and I've seen gameplay for Mega Man 11. Honestly, Dead Cells looks way better, so much better.
That's fair.
I haven't played it, but like, out of all these games, I'm gonna pick up Dead Cells one day. I'm gonna give it a go one day, and that to me deserves a vote.
Next up, best independent game. So we've got The Messenger. We've got Return of the Obra Dinn. Obra Dinn? I don't know. It's got very cool art style. I quite like that. Nice
cool
art style. Into the Breach. We've got Dead Cells. I like that we both made that meme at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And we've also got Celeste. Jimmy, I know what you're voting for.
Absolutely.
But what am I voting for?
Ooh.
I'm voting for what Jimmy is voting for. And that's
Celeste. So good. So good. Play Celeste. It's a good game. And it's got a good message.
I haven't even played it yet.
Dude, yeah, it's cute, well done. It feels so fun to play. It's got a lot to it. Like, you finish it, but then there's also extra levels you've got like on like a B-side tape or whatever. And then you can also play the original web-based game inside of the game. So it's like, it's got a lot of fun to it, and it's just kind of addictive just because like it's got that Super Meat Boy kind of thing where you die, you instantly respawn, and you can keep going. It's that instant feedback kind of thing. It's like a feedback loop sort of thing. And then once you beat a level, you like feel great, and you get to collect strawberries. So you go like an extra different route to collect strawberries, and you can choose to go that way, or you can not go that way, or whatever you want to do. I tried to get the strawberries as much as I could, and I did very well, and I loved it. So that gets a vote. Celeste, good game.
Next up, Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with profound pro-social meanings. or message. So we've got 1111 Memories Retold by Bando Namco. We've got Florence yet again. Hello again, Florence. We've got Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 from Square Enix, and we've got The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories by Arc System.
Yeah, speaking of The Missing, there's something you did miss there actually. There's a game on there as well. Celeste. Which, voting again, Celeste.
I'm going to give it to Florence because Florence has shown up 3 times. I haven't given it a vote yet. So I'm going to give Florence a vote for Games for Impact.
But like literally, yeah, the message behind Celeste, really good. It gave me a little bit of like a little tear to it. And I was like, that's so sweet. It's a very sweet game. So nice. So yeah, Games for Impact,
Very sweet.
definitely, absolutely.
So we got Best Performance awarded to an individual for voice acting or motion capture performance. We got Brian Deckard as Connor from Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Human is a game I really wanted to play this year, but I never got around to it. What I've seen of it, though, I absolutely love. And it seemed like so much fun and like such a cool story. Hopefully I get to it eventually when the price goes down. We got Christopher Judge as Kratos with that
Yes.
beautiful,
Oh
booming
my god.
voice. Boy.
Yeah. Oh.
We've got Melisanithi.
Mel. Call him Mel.
Pronounce that properly. We've got Mel from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Get out of here. We've got Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2. And we've got old mate Yuri, Ben 10 as Peter Parker, Marvel's Spider-Man.
This is a tricky one. Out of Chris Judd, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan, and Yuri as Peter Parker. They're all actually very good. You don't know how Arthur Morgan sounds, but at the same time I say Arthur Morgan, but yeah, he just sounds like a cowboy. But he's got like a roughness. You can tell like what he's thinking quite a lot. I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking of Yuri? Like, did you like him as Peter Parker?
It was alright. It wasn't nothing amazing, nothing outstanding. Roger Clark, no idea. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's Assassin's Creed. For me, it's between Brian and Christopher Judge. I'm gonna go Christopher Judge.
Absolutely.
Because he did a beautiful job. Chris Judge, you get my vote because I'm a judge.
That's who I'm voting for. I'm the judge, and I voted for Chris Judge. Like literally, you can tell what his character's thinking when he talks, and it's just booming and sounds great. And he also delivered a nice meme, the boy meme, so that's really good.
We got Best Score Music presented
Ooh.
by Spotify.
Okay.
We've got God of War. We've got Marvel's Spider-Man. To be honest, I wasn't too keen on that soundtrack. It was a bit generic sounding.
Neither. Same.
We've got Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. We've got Octopath Traveler. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2. Jimmy, your thoughts?
Red Dead has like a lingering soundtrack, but it's like it sits in the background and it doesn't really stand out, which is good. It adds to the atmosphere. Spider-Man, again, like, yeah, you got the same... Like, literally, I got tired of it. I was so bored of it. I actually turned the music off halfway through the game because I just wanted to hear just like me swinging through the wind going past me, as opposed to the repetitive music you hear constantly. It doesn't change up, only when like a story beat's happening and like you're swinging around and it's a bit urgent, so you get like an urgent sound effect, a bit more heroic. It's the same the whole game, and I don't know why it's even nominated.
It's basically what it is.
I don't know why it's nominated. But out of what have I got?
So we've also got Celeste as well.
Yeah.
Again.
God of War and Celeste. Celeste, really catchy and really good. And like for a game that's like very repetitive and jumping and dying constantly, it doesn't get tiresome. But I could imagine it getting a bit like, because it is a bit samey throughout a lot of it. Like each level does have its own different music, but it doesn't really go any further, add any dynamics, I think. God of War though is like, ooh, that's like an epic, like a proper like thing. So I'm like actually gonna vote for God of War.
Oh, yeah, remember when they had the God of War like performance when they unveiled at E3?
Yeah, that's what it is for the whole game, and it's dynamic. Like it's not just like the same kind of thing over and over again. And there's moments where the music just stops to just experience the world a little bit, and then it kind of fades in, and then you get like the those kind of like those really like Viking, like the you know those sound, the choir boys.
You've convinced me. I was going to vote for Ni no Kuni, but your passion and enthusiasm So maybe go on God of War. So I'm God of War boys.
You gotta play God of
Next
War.
up,
It's very good. Anyway, next up.
we've got Best Art Direction. We've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. What?
Art direction. What art direction? It's just generic. Let's just take history and make it look like that. See, the God of War, that's taking history, but then also flipping it around and making it actually its own unique style.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, get out of here. God of War, we got Octopath Traveler, we got Red Dead Redemption 2, and we got Return of Obra Dinn. I'm going to give it to Octopath Traveler because it's a very unique design.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Yeah, I'll vote for Octopath. It's very unique, and that's what kind of stood out about the game. I didn't play it, but you got to admit, when you first saw like the reveal for it, you were like, that looks cool. Like, God of War, you're like, oh, pretty graphics. Red Dead, you're like, oh, pretty graphics. Assassin's Creed, you're like, oh, generic graphics. And this return of, like, that's a unique style. But I think, like, for impactful, like, art direction, you're like, immediately you're like, oh, Octopath Traveler, like, that's super unique looking. So, yeah. Best narrative.
I think we've got a game that is a bit robbed here, and that is Yakuza 6. I think that should have been among the best narratives. Yakuza 6 had an amazing narrative, and a lot of people on Twitter was a little bit sad that Yakuza 6 was shown there, and also people were sad that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was not among the best JRPGs as well. So we got in the best narrative, we have Detroit Become Human, God of War yet again, Life is Strange Episode 1, not the whole series, just Episode 1, Marvel's Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't think Life is Strange 2 could count because it's only one episode and you got no conclusion. Personally, I'm gonna go for Detroit Become Human because it's a narrative game. You got so many different narratives. You got so many different
That's a good point.
options and conclusions and different paths you can take. Unlike Assassin's Creed, where you can just say, "Oh, hey," or "How you doing?"
Yeah.
This one, it changes the narrative. Whereas Spider-Man is just like, "Oh, I'm gonna swing around, take rid of some boys."
Mm-hmm.
Got Red Dead Redemption 2. You're like, "Oh, I'm a cowboy. Gonna kill some cowboys."
Yeah.
You got Detroit. You have choices. I like that. I'm voting for it. Jimmy, what are you gonna say?
Spider-Man, absolutely not. I think the story in that one isn't captivating at all. Like, literally, I would get bored of the story and swing around to do the objectives and all those kinds of things, which I never do. Red Dead, it's more just like the whole world's kind of its own narrative and story, but like nothing really is like, it's just kind of like you living the life and experiencing. I haven't got enough into it, but it's not bad. I think it's definitely more engaging than Spider-Man though. God of War and Detroit. I haven't played Detroit, but I know it's got a lot of choices. But since I've played it, I'm going to go God of War because that game had an impact at the end, and there's a little plot twist towards the end, and there's lots of twists and turns. Like, literally, I found myself going on to people like Let's Players I used to watch when I watched a lot of Let's Plays and going to see their playthrough and just skipping to the bits where I was like, I need to see what they think of this bit. I need to see what they think of this
what
bit.
did Jack Spadicki think of that moment?
I didn't watch Jack Spadicki. I didn't watch Jack Spadicki's reaction. I'll watch him now. I'll give him a watch and see what he thought. But that gives my vote because it had lots of different...
Was the little kid Kratos all along? Is that the plot twist?
Dude, I'm not going to tell you. You got to play it yourself.
Right. Next up, Best Game Direction.
Okay.
We've got Detroit Become Human. This is awarded to the game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation. So yeah, we've got Detroit Become Human. We've got God of War. We've got Spider-Man again. Nah, get out of here. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2 and my winner from Hazelight Studios, the best game director in the world, Masahiro Sakurai. I'm sorry, but you have nothing. The director of A Way Out, getting my vote.
I'm a passionate man. Nobody will ever, even if I do AAA, this is an independent game, but even if I do that, it will always be the game I want it to be.
All right.
We'll come to the point soon.
A Way Out. We got to go. Here we go. A Way Out. Coming out.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
He's not...
Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Your thoughts?
I agree. Because, like, Detroit Become Human could possibly get a good direction point because of all the different directions it goes. God of War, Spider-Man, and Red Dead, they don't really innovate. They don't really go anywhere that's like, whoa, this is very different for a game. And Detroit, like... still the same kind of deal you got in like Heavy Rain, all those sort of games, but like for passion from a director, from someone that loves their game and wants people to play their game, and an idea that is something that's been missing. Being able to play with someone on the couch next to you, and that's the only way you can play it. Besides, you can play online, but you can only play together. that's such a like a really like a great vision and a beautiful way. And the guy is a nutcase, and I love him.
Fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you! I'll tell you!
The director. Literally the director. I'm voting for the guy who directed A Way Out.
Good old Joseph.
He's a crazy man.
I just hope everyone votes for this game just so he can go off on stage again. And hopefully they don't get someone to go off on behalf of him, because if that's the case, I will riot.
Best ongoing game.
Awarded a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. We got Destiny 2 Forsaken. We got Old Mate Fortnite. We got No Man's Sky. Get out of here. We got Overwatch, and we got Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. For me, it's a mix between Fortnite and Overwatch, but No Man's Sky has got much better this year.
Yeah, I was gonna
They've added stuff to it.
I was gonna say you wrote it off a little bit, but I was like, I've heard it's been getting better. But as someone that works in games retail, like you hear a lot about these games from customers and stuff like that. You hear the ones that like everyone's talking about. Destiny, like people like. It looks like the most generic, boring, grindy game I've ever seen in my life, but people love it. People dig it up and they love it. No Man's Sky. I don't see enough people talking about it though. Like I always hear people having to remind people, oh, it's gotten better. Overwatch, you hear about that all the time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be Tracer. I don't know.
I'm already Tracer.
Dude, you're already Tracer? Okay. Rainbow Six Siege, that's surprisingly still going. You get a lot of people talking about it, but again, it's not comparable at all to Fortnite. And that's why Fortnite's getting my vote, because literally you can't go a day at all without like 40 kids buying V-Bucks. So there you go. That's why Fortnite gets my vote.
Splatoon 2 should have been in on the ongoing.
Dude,
that would have been pretty good.
Absolutely. I would have voted. Oh my god. Oh, that makes me sad. Like No Man's Sky, getting No Man's Sky out of there and put Splatoon there.
I'm going to give it to Overwatch just because the animations, the ongoing animations that get released are amazing and beautiful. Pixar level quality animations. I love it. And I don't really play the game anymore, but I just watch the animations and they're beautiful. But here we are, Game of the Year. We finally made it, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And do you know what they start off this with?
What are they saying?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Ew, get that train wreck out of here. I'm sure it's a fine game, but it's definitely the games that are below it doesn't even like, not even an arm's reach of those games. Like no, like that's like another park. That game, like these, like no, that game is not anywhere close to the next game.
Get out of here.
So no,
we've got God of War. We got Marvel's Spider-Man, we got Monster Hunter World, and we got Red Dead Redemption 2. Am I forgetting anything, Jim?
Oh, if you're in a little game called Celeste. What a beautiful game.
Oh, there's Celeste as well. Let's go over my opinions on all these games real quick.
There you go.
And then I'll let Jimmy have a go. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, my thoughts. Just Assassin's Creed, isn't it? I haven't played Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 2.
2 was the good one.
I played that one a lot around my friend's house. We got Celeste. I haven't played Celeste yet. It's kind of a cool little, better version of Super Meat Boy. From what it looks like. I would
actually say so. Super Meat Boy, from what I know, that doesn't actually have a story, really. It's more like a Super Mario kind of thing where it's got a story, quote unquote. This one's actually got like a narrative that goes through, which is quite nice. So yeah, I would say it's probably better.
We've got God of War. I'm not too keen on the gameplay switch up they did for this one.
Yeah.
The game looks beautiful. The soundtrack's amazing. But it sort of turned into one of those sort of generic, sort of over the shoulder, sort of on the side, not directly behind him, which is sort of a weird thing they always do in games now, where they had the character kind of like sort of a rule of thirds. I'm like, meh, wasn't a big fan of that change up. We got Marvel's Spider-Man. It was a fun game, a little fun boy game. We got Monster Hunter World, which brought the Monster Hunter series over to PS4 and Xbox One. No longer a little Nintendo game, now a big boy game for big boys. And we got Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot of staff members sort of putting their livelihoods at stake for their job.
There you go.
So what am I voting for? Well, it's going to be a mix between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Celeste. Celeste because it's made by a small team of very passionate indie games makers. There we go. And yeah, I like to see a little indie dev be a game of the year. That would just be amazing. And just a massive sort of morale boost for small indie dev studios around the world.
Absolutely.
Sort of make it go, we could do this. That could be us one day.
Yeah.
But also Red Dead Redemption 2 for the amount of effort and passion and energy that everyone has put onto that game. It was a big sort of undertaking for that game. It's a massive world. And yeah, I don't know. Jimmy, persuade me.
Okay. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Literally like a generic Rome simulator from 2005.
Oh, they're in Rome. I didn't even know that.
No? Greece? Ancient Greece.
Get it right, Jimmy.
Is Rome? Wait, no.
Rome's in Italy, you dumb.
You're right. There you go. Cool. Celeste. Celeste.
It's like saying Bangladesh is in India. You're dumb.
It is.
Moving on.
We know it is. Celeste. Celeste, yeah, it's a beautiful, well done, really well structured story. The gameplay feels really good. Like you die, you get back into the game, and you keep jumping and you keep going. And it makes you like, yeah, the beginning of the game, the opening quote is like, you can do this. Like it just tells you can do this. Like no matter how hard it gets, you can do this. Just keep pushing and you can do it. Which is a really like solid message to push forward, especially like opening with that line. That's all it says. And you feel really like warm in your heart, and that's really nice. God of War, I think this game is really, really good. I feel like, yeah, at first I didn't like it. Like in terms of the, like not when I played it, when I first saw it, I was like, what are they doing? I wasn't a fan of the hack and slash games. I played God of War 3 and I did enjoy it, but I was like, I was never too into hack and slash. It felt very floaty and very I felt very disconnected from Kratos, which I guess was the idea because he's this maniac like god. Well, he became a god. He wasn't a god, then he became I don't know. Story's intense, but you feel very disconnected. I felt like in this game that it was very purposeful. I think Cory Barlow, the guy that directed the game, he had a very intent choice to put you close into the character, so then you suddenly, it's not, you have a weird disconnect from him. You're like, you are Kratos and you're going through this world and you're attaching to your son. It's very different. It's opening to a new kind of era and a new wave of this franchise. And it's done very well. And as I said, the story's done really well. And there's like all these twists and turns that I keep going back to be like, oh, what do these people think? Like, how do these people feel? Marvel Spider-Man, fun time, definitely not Game of the Year worthy. Like, it's a good romp, fun to play. Once you're done, never touch it again. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm never going to touch that game again. It does what it needs to do. Monster Hunter World, I didn't play it. I played the beta, had fun with it. I definitely wouldn't put my hours into it at all. Red Dead is going really good. I'm liking it. The story's not really like super engaging, but as I said, yeah, it's a fun immersive world, and I'm just exploring and having a good time just being inside of it. But I think between two games at the moment, it's between God of War and Celeste. Like that's what it's stuck between. Because I've been saying all year, God of War is the best game I played this year. But then now seeing Celeste, I'm like, that's right, Celeste. And I finished it and I was like, oh yeah, that game was really, 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 really good. I really loved it and it really hit me. So I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I've praised God of War, I've praised Celeste, I've praised them both. But as Scott said, I think it'd be really something special for an indie game like Celeste to get Game of the Year. I don't think it is. I think it's probably going to be one of the least voted out of these ones because unfortunately people are playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and people are playing all these games are good, so that's the only one I would say unfortunately. All these games are good.
They're going to be like, oh, was this Celeste 2D? Was this in the 90s? Yeah, play some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, mate.
Yeah.
Play no little Celeste game. This game's to babies.
Mate, those bloody chads out there playing those games, but we're like cool guys here. Just kidding. But no. Celeste has my vote because literally, yeah, made me feel something. It's so simple, but it makes you feel good and you get through it, and it just motivates you to keep pushing forward and just keep going. Which I think is something that
simple yet effective.
Yeah, simple and effective, and it's motivational.
Well, your passion and enthusiasm has made me vote for Celeste as well. I almost voted Red Dead Redemption 2, But I was like, nah, mate, Celeste.
Dude, yeah, don't vote for
Small
Red
company,
Dead.
not a big corporate collaboration. What are they
Exactly.
called?
Corporation.
Big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Celeste.
Red Dead's a
is
good
where it's
game.
at.
They're all good games except for Odyssey is probably an average game. But all these are good games. But I think Celeste is just something special, and it's honestly, like, I never expected to see Celeste here. Not that it's not a good game, I just didn't expect to see it in a game of the year, because usually it's Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, all these big games that everyone's playing. But like Celeste, I felt like it kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. Not many people were playing it, but I felt like it got praise, but it wasn't, getting out there for nominations. But apparently it did, and that gives me hope. I feel like it probably won't get voted Game of the Year, but if it does, that's going to be bloody amazing. And I hope.
And the fact that it's on the nominations.
That's special.
It's big enough.
That's cool. They did like a competition where they had to make a game in a very small amount of time. And they put Celeste together. It was a web-based game. So if you want to play Celeste for free, you can play it for free on the web, like right now. Like there's a web-based version. So if you don't not too sure about the game, play the web-based version. It's very different. There's no real story to it, but it's got the same kind of feel. So play that. They made that in a very short amount of time, and that game, I think, won that competition. And then they were like, let's make this like into a game, and they made it into a game. So that's a good story.
To end off, I'm gonna say a bit of a quote. It's not a direct quote. It's sort of just like when like you see a mate and you're like, oh, my old mate Luke, he said this the other day, and you sort of say what he said, but he didn't say it properly. So to do a sort of quote, EA are like, oh, bloody single player games, they're not that successful anymore. Multiplayer games are where it's at. But 4 out of these games for Game of the Year are exclusively single player experiences. So single player games are still here. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. EA, you bloody dum-dums. Get out of here with your Battlefield 2 and your FIFAs and all that. Get out of here. Jimmy, any final words?
My final words are Game of the Year. Sometimes I don't care, but sometimes I do care, like this year, so that's always fun.
So, I've been Scott.
I've been Jim.
And until next time,
Stay sweaty.
Bye-bye.
Very
Have
good.
a good week. We
Very
see you
good.
all next time. Very good.
Very good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.